Welcome back to Fred Achando Analysis, ladies and gentlemen. They say he who runs from a fight lives to fight another day. But that is not President William Ruto for you. Ruto has decided to take on all his opponents at the same time, and he will lose this battle because all of them are fighting back. He's fighting Uhuru Kenyatta, fighting Raila Amolo Odinga, fighting Fred Matiangi, fighting everybody, fighting wananchi. The cost of living is too high. Now, one of the heaviest opponent that he picked on but will backfire on him is Fred Matiangi, because Fred is proving to be a heavyweight in the boxing ring. See this. William Samoei Ruto is supposed to visit the Kisii land where Fred Matiangi comes from by 24th of this month. He's going there, among other things, to launch several development projects, and he's also going to attend the homecoming ceremony of the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Mr. Ezekiel Machogu. And he wants to go there and endear himself to the Kisii community and tell them that here I am, I appointed your son into one of the most lucrative and prestigious dockets, the docket of education. And it's also going to, give them more goodies there. One funny thing about this visit is that Fred Matiangi and his friends have also organized for a prayer rally in Kisii Stadium on 25th of this month. So it means that William Ruto will visit the Kisii and Nyamira County, and most probably he wants to make it a tour for 1 or 2 days. Maybe he will be launching development projects, then he will run to either Kisumu to spend on the Kisumu state load. Then the following day he may want to go back to attend the Mr. Machogu's homecoming. But on the second day, Fred Matiangi will be there in Kisii Stadium with his friends and some invited clergy to pray for him as a result of the persecution and intimidation and all the harsh treatment that he is going through. And they're seeking for God's intervention so that William Ruto can let Matiangi go, can leave him alone after serving in the Uhuru regime. He wants to retire in peace. When the Ruto administration, arrested Matiangi, or rather invited him at the DCI headquarters to go and record statements, they detained him for more than 9 hours until Raila Odinga went there to rescue him. This was against an anticipatory bail that he has, barring anyone, any court, the police, all the departments from either arresting or detaining him. Because in that order, it is very clear. The court issued a warning that you can investigate whatever part of Matiangi that you want, but you can never detain or arrest him. Nevertheless, they went ahead and detained him for no apparent reason. So Mr. Matiangi realized that his case is more political than it is legal. So he decided that on the legal side, I have instructed my lawyers, people like Okongo Omogeni, Danstan Omari, Uchindi Amolo, they will be taking care of the legal part of the case. But he knows very well that the political part of it can only be dealt with politically. And so what has he done? He has decided to go back to his people, because that is what happens in Kenya. When you realize that the government or any other person wants to intimidate you politically, you run back to your community. Because the funniest part about our Kenyan politics is that it is largely ethnic based. The timing and choosing of the date is very significant for Fred Matiangi, because recently The Kisii men and women, those sons and daughters of Omogusi, went on demonstration against this perceived harassment against their own son. It means that they were sending a warning, because they even told William Ruto that no Matiangi, no Ruto. And they were saying this as plans were ongoing to receive William Ruto within the county. What does Fred Matiangi want to achieve with all this? If William Ruto sets foot, because I understand that in light of whatever is happening around Matiangi, he might decide to postpone his visit so that Fred Matiangi can complete his prayers, then he goes there later. So Fred Matiangi will wait for William Ruto to go there and launch development projects. And then the following day, he will have those who are allied to him. They will be reminding their people that the same person who is launching development projects is baying for your son's blood. Because I have heard them saying that Fred Matiangi's life is in danger. So Fred wants to ensure that he elicits the emotions of his own people. He has gone to retrieve the ethnic card, because that is what will save him. And they are going to remind those people that William Ruto is not a good man. He's pretending on one side to be giving us Mr. Machogu, but at the same time, he wants to eliminate Fred Matiangi. And if he does this, I can assure you that Fred will be very, very safe. Fred Matiangi could be looking for a position in 2027, because the way they are threatening him without knowing, in fact indirectly, wanamjenga, they are building him politically. So he's going there to build a foundation for himself and for Raila Amolo Odinga. Because when all this is happening, Raila Amolo Odinga has been at the center of his defense. When there was an allegation that there were a contingent of policemen surrounding his home, Raila rushed there in the middle of the night. Recently, when they detained him at the DCI headquarters, Raila rushed there. So he's going there to show them that between William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, this is the man. Raila Amolo Odinga is the man who cares about us and who cares about me, because he has always rescued me. Remember, in the last election, the Kisii, the Omogusi community voted largely for Raila Amolo Odinga. Of course, there were few people who still voted for William Samoei Ruto. So he's going to build a strong foundation so that maybe come 2027, he will be a force to reckon with. In fact, what is going to happen now, Matiangi comes from Nyamira. So he might decide to run for senatorial seat or the gubernatorial seat. And he wants to rally some leaders behind him. You know, when he went to the DCI headquarters, people like Okomo Omogeni, Richard Onyonka were all there. And the first time there was that allegation that the policemen were around his home, even Simba Rat, who is the current governor of Kisii, was there. And he was saying that he was on his way to the rural suburbs in Kisii when he heard that some people invaded Matiangi at night, and so he came back. So Matiangi would be rallying his support base. He is going to look for like-minded politicians for this protection and maybe to gain a political seat in the next general election. Now he wants to compel William Ruto for a ceasefire, because someone was telling me that in 2013, when William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta formed government, Uhuru Kenyatta had half of the cabinet and William Ruto was given half. And some people are saying that is the one who proposed Fred Matiangi. I don't know how true that is. But one thing we know is that towards the tail end of their government, Fred Matiangi was never a friend. He was never darling to William Samoei Ruto. And so they were never reading from the same page. Whatever is happening today, people feel that it is Matiangi, that there's a revenge mission against Fred Matiangi. So Fred knows very well that this is a political fight. Ceasefire must only come if you play political. And so he's trying to force William Ruto into a ceasefire. How? Once you retrieve your ethnic card, because William Ruto wants the same votes in 2027, William Ruto is going to chicken out and is going to carve his tail. Is going to go slow. because what is going to be said is that ni watu wetu wanauliwa, wanakuwa targeted. When it was at the DCI headquarters, I saw several supporters from the Kisii community. In fact, they were talking the Umugusi language. Even as we speak today, they are very bitter because they feel their son is being targeted. So you will see William Ruto coming for a ceasefire, and William Ruto is going to do it. So on 24th and 25th, those 2 days are very significant for the Kisii community. I don't know what is going to happen, because there could be some rallying behind the curtains so that people even boycott Ruto's rally. That can happen. They can decide, because what is going to happen now is they might even try to juxtapose the two rallies, one for Matiangi and the other one for William Ruto. Ni gani itajaa? And so if there is one thing that William Ruto now fears, ni his occasion being attended by very few people. They might even decide to bribe people to go there, because at the heart of everything is what we call legitimacy. When people don't attend your rallies, it means they don't like you. This is why in the recent prayer rallies that she had, alisafirisha watu kwa magari za shule. He transported people using those school buses just to make sure that people feel that the rally was thronged with people. It was well attended. And the last time during that holiday, he had to promise people that when you come, you are going to get some training from some of the US, US-based schools and all that. He has never done something free of charge. And in Kisii, this might be another moment to reap big, because the last time people were going for his rallies, I heard that people are being paid 1,500. If he decides to give you any money, let it be 2,500. So ladies and gentlemen, William Ruto is fighting very many people, but Fred Matiangi might turn to be a heavyweight for William Ruto. If he's not careful, he's going to lose even those who supported him in the last general election, because Fred is their brother and they know what is happening. If William Ruto is not careful again, you cannot fight all your battles at the same time. You need to know, which one do I fight today, which one do I fight tomorrow? Because when all these people start to regroup against you, it will be a point of no return. And ladies and gentlemen, let us wait and see what happens as Fred counters William Ruto's rally. And William will understand on that day that blood is actually thicker than water.